Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. This is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things underneath the common sense lens. And Disney has done it again. Boys and girls, once again, to appease overseas markets, they have decided to change, maybe modify is a good word for that, modify the race of one of their main characters out there in their promotional material. And what's so funny about this is it's Disney's Snow White. And I remember very well an interview with Rachel Zegler where she specifically said she was not going to bleach her skin for the role. And a lot of people out there were like, aghast, why would anyone ever even think such a thing? Well, that's clearly you don't know much about like Hispanic culture or like Brazilian culture, and specifically because that's something that actually happens quite a lot down there. They believe that the paler skin in Brazilian culture out there is much more attractive. So women will literally bleach their skins, which is why she said that. Well, even though Rachel Zegler said she wasn't going to bleach her skin, it doesn't matter. Disney did it for her, because as you can see over here from this headline from thatparkplace.com, and trust me, we've got an example of the posters for the United States and outside as well from thatparkplace.com. Disney appears to change Rachel Zegler's skin color in Snow White International poster to make her look white. Oh, boys and girls, how many times have we had to say that Disney is nothing more than a bunch of virtue signalers out there? They don't actually believe in all of the nonsense cult stuff that they actually spew, and that they only worship at the altar of the almighty dollar. Because why else would they do this? Why would they shrink Poe on the Star Wars poster? Why would they put the mask on T'Challa in the Black Panther poster? Oh, boys and girls, it's because Disney has been nothing but bald-faced lying hypocrites ever since all of the woke nonsense and all the diversity, inclusion, and equity BS started coming around. And once again, this is another example that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that that is true. So we're going to share this article from thatparkplace.com and also jump over to Twitter here real quick to give you a prime example of the two posters and compare. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and we could not do that without every single one of you. We just passed 1,600. We're on our way to 1,700, and I'd really appreciate you if you enjoyed the nerd herd around here, boys and girls. Also, let us know what you think about all of this in the comments section down below. Does it surprise you at all that the Walt Disney Company is doing this once again to appease its international markets? Do you think this is intentional for Disney out there? Because obviously Snow White directly refers to her actual skin tone in the original storytelling. Or do you think maybe this is just some kind of mistake, and you know what, it's just a bunch of content creators out there making a big hubbub about nothing? Let us know what you think about that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from thatparkplace.com and our dear sweet Montanero, Disney's live-action Snow White has found itself in the spotlight once again after the release of a new international trailer and accompanying Snow White International poster. The promotional materials have raised eyebrows for seemingly adjusting Rachel Zegler's appearance, particularly through lighting effects that noticeably lighten her skin tone. Zegler, who is of Colombian and white heritage, she's mixed breed, she's a half-breed just like me, appears in the Snow White poster with a much lighter complexion, more closely resembling the fair-skinned animated version of the iconic character. This has led to speculation that Disney may be modifying Zegler's appearance in marketing materials ahead of the film's scheduled release on March 21st, 2025. So here's your one right here, but let's go over to Twitter where our dear sweet Yellow Flash gives us a wonderful comparison, boys and girls. Now, as you can see with the actual poster here in the United States, Rachel Zegler looks about accurate to her actual skin tone, because I think, let's see if we've got a picture of her down here somewhere. Yes, there we go. There's a picture of her right down there. So obviously this looks pretty accurate. But now, if you look over here, you can see a notable difference right here. Look how much lighter her forehead is. Look at those cheeks. Look at that nose. Look at those very red lips out there. And look at Gal Gadot. It's not like they just lightened the whole poster overall. Look at Gal Gadot. She looks absolutely identical from this poster to this one. But clearly you can tell, I mean, right down to her neck, everything else. Disney has lightened her skin tone. They have bleached her to appease the international audiences because they are desperate to try to squeak some kind of profit out of this movie, and diversity, inclusion, and equity be damned. They do not care, boys and girls. They do not give a crap. The situation carries a sense of irony. When Zegler first was cast as Snow White, she made headlines with a controversial statement. Yes, I'm playing Snow White, and I'm not bleaching my skin for the role. See? I'm not the only one who remembers that. Now it seems Disney has taken steps to adjust her appearance in the Snow White poster, possibly in an effort to align more closely with the traditional depiction of the fairy tale princess. This move has sparked conversations about whether the studio is attempting to downplay earlier criticisms related to Zegler's casting. Yeah, because Snow White's supposed to be a pale skin but with dark hair. Doesn't really work out for those of us of the brown complexion unless we stay inside the entire time. Yeah, color us shocked there. The choice to cast Zegler with Snow White was divisive from the outset, but has since become just one of the many challenges the film faced. Since the project's announcement, Snow White has been entangled with a series of controversies that have steadily intensified. Obviously, Zegler's been the problem of that. We've reported on how all of the trailers, every single trailer they've released has gotten absolutely ratioed into oblivion. Obviously, we had Zegler's little meltdown after the election, which of course Disney had to smack her on the hand for and go back out there, and she had to apologize and make a big thing out of that and all of this other kind of nonsense. Like, literally, this has been nothing but a serious issue. Obviously, we can talk about the Seven Dwarfs issue and all of that kind of nonsense, how initially they were going to have like the 7 homeless people from San Francisco join her, and then of course after all the backlash from all of the set photos that got released from that one, well, then they switched over to CGI dwarfs. God forbid they hire actual dwarf actors out there to represent these roles and give those people out there, those little people out there, quite literally, the chance to see themselves on the big screen out there. It's an absolute abomination. This movie has been nothing but abysmal marketing and absolute bad nonsense garbage over the entire term. So the latest Snow White poster, intended to build an anticipation ahead of the film's release, has instead added another layer to the ongoing debate. With the noticeable alterations to Zegler's appearance, Disney now faces additional scrutiny over its marketing choices. As the release date approaches, the future of Snow White appears increasingly uncertain, weighed down by ongoing controversy and concerning box office forecasts. Yes, boys and girls, the box office forecasts are for this thing to end up being an abysmal failure. They're talking like $50 to $60 million for opening weekend. And with a movie that's a reported budget of like at minimum $300 billion between all of the reshoots and the CGI and switching from live action people to CGI characters and all of that kind of nuts stuff, this movie is going to be a disastrous dumpster fire. And Disney, you can bleach her skin all you want for the international marketing, even though Zegler said she wasn't going to do it. You can try your best, but your goose is cooked when it comes to Disney's Snow White out there, because this live action is going to end up being an abomination. The mere idea that Rachel Zegler is somehow fairer than Gal Gadot should have told you right from the very beginning that this movie was going to be doomed. And then you have on top of it Rachel Zegler, who is absolutely insufferable, a possessed by the spirit of the age, completely and totally down with the woke cult psychopath, has done nothing but continue to nuke any chances you ever thought or dreamed of having a profit at the box office. And this marketing, boys and girls, just once again shows you that Disney is nothing more than an absolute hypocrite and never was down for the woke cult. After all, they only worship at the altar of the almighty dollar. But guess what? Bleaching Rachel Zegler is not going to save this movie, Disney.